Have you ever wondered why the name baboon? The name baboon, or racist monkey, carries with it uniqueness and strangeness. These are magical creatures from Asia and are currently entering the US, especially in the state of Florida, where they disappeared from research facilities and began building a large community. If you are excited about this content, please leave number 1 in the comments. Initially, only a few dozen were estimated, but their rapid increase has made them popular and powerful. Baboons, with their thick gray or brown fur, along with a prominent red mark on their underbelly, create a particularly attractive and powerful image. With an average weight of up to 17-25 lb, they are fearsome and dangerous creatures, especially when they feel threatened or when they are searching for food. In urban environments, their ability to attack becomes more apparent than ever, especially when they steal food. Their sharp fangs, about an inch long, are natural weapons of fear. Baboons typically breed in spring and summer, taking advantage of warm weather to create a new generation. Each time they breed, they usually bring in 1 to 3 offspring, keeping their community growing. At the same time, they are omnivores. Their food includes fruits and small animals, helping them survive and thrive in all environments. They live in large groups, have a clear social organization, and follow the leadership of male baboons, individuals who are highly adaptable to diverse habitats, from forests to grasslands and even urban areas. They do not hesitate to invade Florida City, wandering on main roads, causing significant traffic congestion. This congestion not only affects the daily movement of residents, but also delays ongoing public and business projects. In particular, there is a risk of causing serious injury to traffic participants, especially car drivers, when they attack vehicles on the road, possibly for the purpose of finding food or due to their instinct to search for new environments. New school of life. Not only do they stop at causing traffic congestion, they also boldly live on people's rooftops, destroying infrastructure and personal property. They invade homes in search of food, causing significant damage to the local economy. Anxiety spread in the community when the estimated annual damage in Florida reached billions of dollars, including repair and recovery costs. The negative impact on residents' mental health becomes increasingly severe, as they not only have to worry about losing safety and food from their residents, but also have to deal with baboons wreaking havoc on food sources across the city. This behavior not only causes economic destruction, but also pollutes water sources and the surrounding environment, creating serious problems for public health and the living environment. To cope with this situation, Florida residents have implemented hunting activities. Hunters often choose locations far from residential areas, where baboons often appear, to conduct effective hunting. Hunters often target the head or neck area to take them down quickly and effectively. They often use means such as bows and arrows with great precision, prepare large amounts of food such as tomatoes and oranges to attract baboons, then wait in well-covered spots to avoid being spotted. Presently, when the baboons appeared, they proceeded to take them down with precision and efficiency. The bow commonly used for baboon hunting is the compound bow, with impressive accuracy and shooting power at distances of 20 to 30 feet. Each hunt can yield 4 to 5 baboons, depending on the hunter's skill and weather conditions. The use of bows and arrows is considered an effective measure to control the growth of baboons and protect the natural environment as well as human livelihoods. However, the use of bows and arrows also needs to be closely monitored to ensure that it does not negatively affect humans and other animals in the area. The problem of baboon invasion in the state of Florida remains a significant risk, requiring attention and solutions from government agencies and environmental organizations. Despite control measures, there are still large areas where baboons can roam freely and cause hardship to communities. To solve this problem, close cooperation between government agencies, the public, and environmental protection organizations is required. In my view, methods such as sterilization or relocating them to wildlife sanctuaries are more humane and sustainable approaches to solving the problem. Besides minimizing risks to humans, we also need to consider the existence and rights of animals, including baboons. Their invasion requires careful consideration of countermeasures, while respecting their lives and freedom. Goose hunting is seen not only as a means of controlling goose populations, but also as an effective means of protection. Geese often migrate to agricultural areas in search of food. However, they can cause great damage to crops and agricultural infrastructure. Research by Purdue University has shown that geese can consume a significant amount of food each day and cause significant damage to a variety of crops. Studies and estimates from government agencies, including the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, have reinforced the importance of goose hunting in reducing Canada goose populations in the United States from peak levels, from 10 million to about 7 million. Ohio State University research in 2014 also showed that goose hunting can reduce crop damage by about 40%, depending on the area where American geese migrate. Goose hunting, especially in the South, plays an important role in controlling goose populations and preventing them from damaging crops in specific geographic regions. Goose hunting is not only part of America's historical heritage, but also an integral part of modern rural life. Hundreds of years ago, during the colonial period, goose hunting not only provided food for farmers and families, but was also a special survival activity. Today, despite many changes, the purpose and methods of goose hunting remain the same in many agricultural regions of the United States. Many farmers consider goose hunting not only a regular hunting activity, but also a way for them to relax and enjoy themselves. Hunting requires patience and skill. The hunter must clearly understand the behavior of the geese, from choosing the ambush location to skillfully approaching the target when shooting and transporting the geese. In particular, the most important part is the safety and respect of animals. Goose hunting is often considered a family activity, creating opportunities for everyone to participate and create memorable memories. In addition, it brings many educational benefits to children, helping them learn about nature and develop hunting skills under adult supervision. If we look at the statistics, we can clearly see the appeal of this activity in different states. For example, Minnesota ranks first in the number of hunters participating in goose hunting each year, with about 100,000. Illinois and Wisconsin are the next two states with large numbers of geese migrating through the region, attracting approximately 1,800,000 geese each year. Although goose meat is a popular traditional dish in some states in the United States, it is not popular with the majority of people. The main reason is because the taste of goose meat is often rich and fatty, not suitable for the general taste of many people. Americans, according to a survey by the American Poultry Association, only about 10% of Americans choose to eat goose meat. Another reason why goose meat is not popular is the issue of price. Goose meat has a high price, making it a luxury dish, and not everyone can afford it. In addition, a number of other reasons also make goose meat not popular in America. One of them is that people are concerned about the possible high amount of cholesterol in goose meat, especially for those who value health. Additionally, some people may have allergic reactions when consuming goose meat, increasing the risk of eating it. Wolves, an invasive species, have caused numerous issues for both the ecosystem and agriculture in Australia. Their infestation not only affects wildlife, but also poses a significant risk to important human food supplies, such as sheep and cows. Wolves are among the most skilled predators on the planet, and they do not hesitate to attack sheep to seek food. Sheep are often their primary target, especially the young or weak ones. Wolf attacks not only cause physical damage, but also increase tension and anxiety within the livestock industry. An even bigger issue is the impact of wolves on agriculture. Attacks on livestock can result in significant losses for farmers, not only financially, but also psychologically. Additionally, it causes disruption within the livestock industry and can lead to economic decline in rural communities. To control the increase in wolf populations and minimize damage to the livestock industry, wolf hunting measures have been widely implemented. Hunting groups are often organized to eliminate wolves in areas where they thrive. Although this method may be controversial, it is still seen as an effective measure to keep wolf populations in check and protect farmers' food supply.
Hey! Hey!
In the context of wolf invasion, implementing control measures is necessary to protect both the ecosystem and Australia's agricultural economy. However, there needs to be careful consideration between protecting wild animal species and safeguarding crucial food supplies for humans. Surely you will be interested in the continuing style of this address. The kangaroo, the symbol of Australia, appears throughout the country and is considered a powerful symbol of their ever moving forward. This animal is loved and considered a symbol of friendliness and closeness to humans. Australia's cultural diversity is evident in most regions, especially in rural areas. Although eating kangaroo meat is still acceptable in some areas, especially in rural areas, it is controversial. Hunting kangaroos for meat is considered a violation of their habitat. Consuming the meat of an animal considered a national symbol is incompatible with Australian values and ways of life. Besides, Hendra disease, caused by Hendra virus, is becoming a significant risk to human health. The virus can be transmitted from kangaroos to humans through contact with their secretions and has the potential to cause serious health problems. While kangaroos play an important role in maintaining Australia's ecosystem, they are facing extinction. The Australian government has recognized the importance of protecting kangaroos and has taken measures to ensure their survival. Protection measures include maintaining and preserving their natural habitat and reducing pressure from risk factors.
The wild bear population is rapidly increasing in the United States, as they are now present in all 50 states. About 10 years ago, when Americans went camping in the woods and encountered wild bears, their numbers were very few, and they were very timid when encountering humans. However, as they became dependent on human food, they grew accustomed to it and became increasingly aggressive and irritable. Wild bears began to attack households and steal food. They moved towards the city to search for food from farms and attack livestock farms, rummaging through garbage cans. The U.S. government has had to implement measures to prevent wild animals from accessing livestock farms and to protect the public. There are some simple and effective ways that we need to implement there. The first solution is in areas outside of farms. It's necessary to have a regime of sufficient food instead of providing too much food every day. By calculating the amount of food needed appropriately, we can minimize waste and avoid attracting wild bears. Minimizing food waste not only conserves resources, but also reduces the number of wild bears in the area. Excess food not only provides opportunities for wild bears, but can also alter their behavior. By reducing food waste, we can create a safer environment for livestock and prevent wild bears from encroaching on farms. This ensures that both parties can share the habitat without posing a threat to each other. Additionally, employing measures to safeguard livestock feed is also a critical solution. Steel enclosures and electric fences can be utilized to ensure that livestock feed is shielded from the access of wild bears. This not only protects the feed, but also ensures the safety of your livestock fencing. Fences can be built around livestock farms and trees, with energy panel systems supplying electricity to the fences, ensuring that there is always power to the fences. However, despite protective measures, there are still some cases where wild bears can still make their way through. They may try to steal food because they like it so much. Increased security is another important part of preventing wild bears from entering residential areas or farms, and stealing security cameras to monitor their activities. Security cameras can provide valuable information about wild bear behavior, helping you take appropriate precautions. If you spot a wild bear nearby, take appropriate security measures such as running as fast as possible and informing people around you of the situation. Please quickly contact the security agency so they can assist you in handling the situation. In addition to these measures, hunting is also one of the most widely used measures in the U.S. states. Hunting has become an important part of countermeasures against wild bear attacks. This is a task that not only requires professionalism, but also ensures the safety of humans and the wildlife when dealing with wild bears. Hunters have an important role in finding and capturing them. There are often people with in-depth knowledge of bear behavior and ecology, along with advanced hunting skills. Hunters are trained to identify wild bear tracks, their expressions, and predict potential bear actions to ensure the safety of the natural environment. Placing cameras in areas where wild bears are known to monitor their behavior, as well as placing containers containing their favorite food, can help bears appear more quickly in their presence. Wild bear hunting is a process that requires precision and patience. Hunters use hunting tools and safe support methods to catch the number of bears they will travel in groups so that they can promptly assist each other during the hunt. The ultimate goal of hunting wild bears is not to completely eliminate the species, but to ensure that wild bears and humans can share the same habitat without posing a threat to each other. American farmers devote their time and knowledge to doing this work carefully and mathematically, playing a vital role in maintaining the balance between humans and nature, as well as in the fight against wild bear attacks. If you like these measures, leave the number 1. Otherwise, leave the number 0 in the comment section below. Favorable weather conditions have created an ideal environment for the proliferation of the mouse population. With abundant rainfall and warm climate, it's as if Mother Nature has bestowed upon us a signal allowing them to thrive vigorously. However, mice also benefit from the plentiful food sources available for their consumption. The bountiful harvest season has resulted in surplus grains and abundant supply, spreading across rural areas to meet their erratic dietary needs. The reproductive capacity of mice is remarkable. Each mouse can produce from 4 to 6 litters per year, with each litter consisting of 6 to 10 pups, which is an impressive number. The rapid population growth rate only exacerbates the situation further. To cope with the devastation caused by mice, resourceful individuals have devised simple traps to minimize damage. These makeshift devices come at minimal cost, requiring only $5 to $10 for materials and using the favorite food of rodents to lure them in. By strategically placing them in areas frequented by mice, they have demonstrated wisdom in defeating these cunning rodents. The traps are set at night and harvested in the morning, a smart tactic employed in China. The 2022 rat plague caused more than $1 billion in damage to the agricultural industry. This reality underscores the urgency for creative solutions to address this problem before it further damages crops and livelihoods in the United States. Rats are known for their elusive behavior, often hiding underground during the day and venturing out at night in search of food. These small rodents devastated more than 10,000 acres of crops in California after farmers finished harvesting. They have adopted a unique method to combat rat infestations by using plows to remove rats from the soil and train hunting dogs to track and capture them. This strategy has proven to be one of the most effective methods for controlling rats, according to the National Invasive Species Information Center. In the United States, approximately 100 million invasive rats are captured annually, a staggering number that includes many different species of rats. The government's efforts to manage these issues reflect the determination of American farmers to protect crops and ensure food security. According to estimates by the Australian Department of Agriculture and Water, eliminating rats is not an easy task because they are small and extremely agile. Farmers often use shotguns to hunt rats. In Australia, about 5 million wild rats are hunted each year. Government and state authorities determine the number of wild rats destroyed based on many factors, including the number of rats, the extent of damage, and the effectiveness of control measures. Rat extermination methods in 2020 in India reached unprecedented numbers, with more than 2,200,000 tons of rice destroyed. Notably, a portion of the mice caught has been processed into a special dish. Grilled rat meat has become a unique dish and is available in many markets and restaurants across India. Each year, according to estimates by the Indian government, about 200,000 tons of grilled rat meat are consumed. The rat meat consumed is equivalent to about 1.5 billion rats. This consumption not only changes the landscape of rat populations, but also has a significant impact on the environment. In some other countries, it goes further by releasing the virus into mice and letting them return to the wild. This method aims to control rat populations by allowing the virus to spread naturally and reducing rat numbers. Do you think this approach is the most effective? Leave a 1 if you agree. Otherwise, leave a 0 if you disagree, and don't forget to share your opinion with us. Currently, managing and controlling freshwater prawns has become a challenge for many economies and natural environments globally. After being aware of the risks and impacts of giant freshwater prawns, many measures have been implemented to resolve this situation. Among those measures, crayfish fishing and using natural traps are considered the simplest and most effective methods, requiring direct human intervention to reduce crayfish populations. In this way, grayling populations can be controlled more effectively, and their impact on the natural environment can also be reduced. In Florida, the state government has implemented a number of crayfish control measures, including placing traps in areas where crayfish are abundant. This is considered one of the effective ways to reduce local crayfish populations and prevent them from colonizing the natural environment. The number of crayfish nesting in many places has created negative impacts on the environment and local communities. According to statistics, only in Florida, USA, it is estimated that more than 1 million crayfish exist, while in Europe, the number of crayfish is estimated to be about 200 million. The rapid growth of this species has raised serious questions about how to control and reduce its negative impact on the environment. Economical crayfish traps are an effective tool used to control and reduce crayfish populations. Using this trap cage is very simple and effective. This can be done using bait or food that crayfish prefer. One of the common ways to use crayfish traps is to use bait with the type of fish they like to eat, such as grayling. When putting fish into the cage, shrimp will be attracted by the aroma and flavor of the fish. Then they will enter the cage to look for food. In addition to using fish as bait, traps can also use cucumbers or some other fruits and vegetables as bait. Since crayfish are capable of eating anything, using these types of foods can also be very effective. Just put other vegetables in the cage, then tie the cage tightly and drop it where there are crayfish. An important point when using trap cages is to make sure to place the cage in areas where crayfish are often active. When releasing the cage, the shrimp will be attracted by the bait and enter the cage to eat. When there are enough shrimp in the cage, just wait a while and then pick them up. Using cage traps is an effective method to control crayfish populations, helping to minimize their negative impact on the environment and local communities. By using a variety of baits, we can increase our ability to attract shrimp and achieve better performance in controlling their populations. Besides using cage traps, another method to control crayfish populations is to catch them by hand. This method is not only effective but also brings a unique experience to participants. Hand-catching crayfish is not just a simple population control measure, but also creates a unique interaction between humans and nature. Participants often have access to shallow waters where crayfish are often active, thereby gaining a deeper experience of the species and a greater awareness of their impact on the environment and local communities. Hand-catching crayfish can also be considered a way to educate and raise awareness about this species. These experiences help people understand the importance of controlling crayfish populations and protecting the shallow water environments experienced by grayling populations. At the same time, this interaction also provides opportunities for everyone to participate in asking questions and learning about related issues, especially in the context of crayfish consumption and cuisine becoming a popular trend. Crayfish catches not only provide a delicious food source, but also play an important role in controlling the species population. After catching, crayfish are often transferred to clean processing facilities and then processed into attractive dishes. This has generated significant growth in the food and culinary industry and has resulted in more effective control of grayling populations, supported by many organizations and the crayfish hunting community. Large cooking events are often held, where crayfish are cooked in large quantities and neighbors are invited to participate. This can be considered a kind of celebration aimed at promoting the use of crayfish and creating awareness about the value of the species and the cuisine. Although the consumption of crayfish has increased significantly, the population of this species has so far been controlled through measures such as artisanal fishing using traps and raising awareness about the harmful effects of crayfish. More. The negative impact of this species on the environment and its ecosystem or other local species has been significantly reduced. If you like eating crayfish, how do you often prepare this dish? Please share your opinion in the comments section below. If you like eating crayfish, how do you often prepare this dish? Please share your opinion in the comments section below. Baboons, with their intelligence and agility, have become an increasingly serious problem in Arabia. From attacking people and stealing food to disrupting public order, their presence has caused worrying problems in the community. If you are excited about this content, please leave number 1 below in the comments section. One of the biggest problems is baboon attacks on humans. Not only does it endanger the health and safety of local residents, it also causes anxiety and discomfort in daily life. In addition, monkeys often steal food from people and even destroy personal property. Another problem is their ability to cause disorder and chaos. Baboons often attack traffic, blocking vehicles and causing dangerous situations for drivers and passengers. Their sudden appearance can increase the risk of traffic accidents and cause serious damage to both people and property. To solve this problem, one solution we propose is to use contraceptive pills for monkeys mixed into food. This can reduce their reproduction and thereby reduce the number of monkeys in the population. However, careful research needs to be conducted to ensure that this method does not cause negative impacts on the monkey's health or the environment. By combining population control measures for monkeys and improving their habitat management, we can hope that the issue of baboons in Arabia will be effectively and sustainably addressed. Continue watching the rest of the video to see exactly how feral pigs are an invasive species in the United States. Feral pigs pose a serious threat to the U.S. agricultural economy. According to estimates by the U.S. Department of Agriculture, Feral pigs cause about $2.5 billion in damage to U.S. agriculture each year. They are omnivores and are capable of eating many crops such as corn, wheat, soybeans, and wild vegetables, causing great loss. American farmers' worries come not only from the growth of weeds, but also from the significant presence of feral pigs in their fields. When they checked the map, they saw that wild pigs had invaded and destroyed their fields in just a few hours. White marks in the fields are a sign that the planting plan has been destroyed, and many corn plants have been broken and lying underground. This increases the burden on farmers and causes great losses to agricultural production. Wild boars are animals that reproduce very quickly. Each litter can give birth to 6 to 12 cubs per year. This leads to a rapid increase in the number of wild boars. Wild boars and hybrid pigs often dig holes and destroy land, causing land degradation and reducing the productivity of that land. By using their snouts to dig in the ground to find food, this behavior is called rooting and is one of their most destructive habits. When they uproot trees, they destroy vegetation, disrupt soil processes, increase erosion, and reduce water quality. All of these impacts are costly to landowners. Another negative behavior is when they bask in humid and hot areas to cool off and avoid insect bites. This leads to the formation of large puddles in the forests where they live, creating holes created by wild boars and rainwater. Wild species are highly adaptable and can survive in a variety of habitat conditions, so it is not surprising that they can also colonize urban areas and cities. They often take advantage of greenery in urban spaces as shelter and pathways for movement. Using their noses to explore areas on school grounds and roadside flowers, they search for food in lawns that have remained intact since the trash they pulled out, polluting the area due to the high concentration of residents. Managing wildlife in cities is a particular challenge. They are also a threat to humans and livestock, capable of attacking and causing injury. Their ferocity and ability to attack humans and livestock make them the most dangerous invasive species to American communities. In this situation, we need to talk about the diseases that all these wild boars bring. As a nuisance walk, first of all, we must mention African swine fever, ASF. Fortunately, this disease is not transmitted to humans, but it can cause major economic losses to the pig industry. Imagine your bacon and everything related to pigs being completely banned because of African swine fever. To solve the problem of wild boars, people use hunting methods. The original purpose of hunting wild boars was to maintain natural balance, but they have become a worrying threat to agriculture and the environment. Managing and controlling their numbers is an important task to protect our lives and livelihoods. So what do you think about how Americans are dealing with the wild boar problem? Leave number 1 if you agree with the hunting method. Otherwise, leave number 0 and share your opinion in the comments section below. In recent years, wild fox populations in the United States have increased rapidly by millions, causing concern and fear among people, especially farmers. The problem is getting worse, with estimates from the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency putting the wild fox population at between 3.5 and 7 million. Leave number 1 in the comments and get started with me now. This poses a difficult problem for the community, requiring effective management and handling measures to solve this problem. International wild foxes possess high flexibility and adaptability, allowing them to move through all types of terrain from forests, grasslands to streets. This behavior not only increases the risk of entering residential areas, but also threatens pets and human health. The breeding season of wild foxes usually begins in January and lasts until March. Each litter usually has 4 to 6 cubs with a high reproductive rate. A female fox can give birth to up to 2 cubs per day, leading to rapid population growth. They'd often take advantage of burrows and climbing skills to find places to live and defend. To penetrate residential areas, wild foxes can even jump over walls, creating significant challenges for the community. People often leave food in the suburbs at night, attracting wild foxes and other wildlife, increasing the risk of intrusion into their daily lives. Wild foxes not only hunt prey such as rabbits, mice, and birds, but also attack large livestock, affecting livestock productivity. More worryingly, they can also carry infectious diseases such as rabies, endangering the health of both humans and animals. The process of trapping wild foxes in the city is organized and carried out systematically, often by competent authorities such as the Department of Animal Health or the Department of Forestry. This process does not stop at simply setting traps, but also includes many important steps to ensure effectiveness in controlling and reducing the number of wild foxes. First of all, determining where to place traps is an important step, especially in areas where wild foxes are most likely to occur, such as home gardens and landfills. This process requires a deep understanding of wild fox behavior and ecology to optimize their attraction to traps. Next, preparing the trap is another important step. There are 2 main types of wild fox traps: cage traps and clip traps. The cage trap works like a cage with a door that opens to the front, while the lick trap uses the jaws to catch the fox. The choice between the 2 types of traps often depends on the specific characteristics of the trap area and the ecology of the wild foxes there. Trapping is not just about choosing the location or type of trap, but also involves how to set the trap to most effectively attract wild foxes. Traps should be placed in areas where wild foxes are active, such as food or shelter. Strategic trapping can increase the likelihood of capturing wild foxes and reduce unwanted harassment. Another important factor influencing the effectiveness of fox trapping is how often the trap is tested, to ensure that the trap is not only initially effective, but also remains effective over time. Ensuring fox traps are checked at least once a day is an important measure to prevent their spread. This ensures that if any wild foxes become trapped, they are dealt with immediately, preventing their spread. The effectiveness of fox trapping depends not only on technical factors such as location, trap type, and frequency of inspection, but also on a deep understanding of the ecology and behavior of wild foxes. Model research from the University of California, Davis has shown that the use of cage traps can reduce wild fox populations in cities by up to 70%. This is testament to the effectiveness of wild fox trapping strategies, especially when using methods built on extensive research and understanding of fox hunting and invasive behavior. Consider fox trapping not just a simple task, but part of a comprehensive strategy designed to reduce fox numbers and control their invasion. This process requires diligent, careful planning and special attention to ecological factors. Hunting begins with an assessment of the invasiveness of the wild fox population in that area. Experts need to assess the extent of damage caused to the environment and agriculture, as well as the impact on native flora and fauna. This provides an important information base to determine further hunting plans. Planning your hunt is the next important step. The location, facilities, and safety measures must be carefully defined. The goal is to ensure hunting is safe and effective, while minimizing negative impacts on the environment. Deciding on hunting equipment is an important part, depending on the terrain, environmental conditions, and availability of each option. Before starting each hunt, identifying a specific target is necessary to avoid unwanted situations, such as shooting unnecessary animals. for long-term control of fox populations. Reducing food sources and improving their habitat can be effective measures. However, dealing with invasive fox populations in Australia is facing challenges and requires appropriate treatment measures from farms. Hi everybody! In many countries around the world, wild boar populations are increasing rapidly, such as in Italy, where the wild boar population has increased many times over the past year. So how do farmers and hunters in Italy deal with millions of wild animals? Let's explore with Catfarmer now. If you are ready and excited about this content, leave number 1 below in the comments to let me know. Wild boar populations in Italy, Canada, and the United States are growing strongly, posing challenges in managing wildlife populations. In Italy, the wild boar population has almost doubled in the past decade, reaching 1 million in 2022 from 500,000 in 2010. Similarly, in Canada, the number has increased from 100,000 in 2000 to more than 1 million in 2010. Meanwhile, in the United States, wild boar populations have increased from 10 million in 2000 to more than 25 million in 2022. The sudden increase in wild boar populations in Italy is mainly due to the development of abandoned agricultural land, providing additional food sources and shelter for wild boars. However, this increase also brings negative consequences. Wild boars are a threat to animal agriculture and transport in Italy. They often damage crops by eating grass seeds and other crops, causing great damage to agriculture. Furthermore, wild boars also injure livestock, especially piglets, and cause traffic accidents when crossing the road. According to the Italian Farmers Organization, known as Cinghiale Selvatico wild boars, especially red wild boars, cause €100 million in damage each year to the agricultural sector in Italy. This includes losses from crop destruction due to livestock attacks and traffic accidents in rural areas, especially in hard-hit regions such as Lazio, Campania, and Puglia. Hunting wild boar is an important strategy used to control this animal population in Italy. Hunting takes place year-round, but is subject to government regulations. There are 2 main types of hunting practiced in Italy. The first type is seasonal hunting, which usually takes place from September to December, when wild boars are most active. This allows hunters to use a variety of means, such as hunting tools and traps, to confront wild boar populations. The second type is government-planned hunting, which takes place in areas where wild boars cause the most damage. However, before applying hunting methods, Italian farmers often take initial measures such as planting plants that are not attractive to wild boars, building sturdy fences, and choosing fruit and vegetable crops, suitable tubers. However, these measures are often not effective enough to control wild boar populations. How do you like to hunt? Please leave your opinion in the comments section below to let us know. Success in controlling wild boar requires cooperation between farmers and hunters, with measures such as trapping and fumigation deployed to minimize the impact of wild boar. Hunting. With about 100,000 wild boars captured by 2022 according to CER, is the main method. Organizations are ready to carry out night hunting. Managing wild boar populations and minimizing damage to agriculture and urban areas is becoming a major challenge, especially in rural areas. However, this condition also occurs in urban areas, especially when wild boar is infested. According to information from the Italian Farmers Organization, the South Central region, especially Lazio, Campania, and Puglia was identified as the site of many hunting events during the Wild War and had the highest concentration of wild hunting. Wildlife warfare and hunting are important management measures to control wild boar populations. Hunting activities are often organized by groups of hunters, with a number of 5 to 10 people, divided into small teams. Before starting, groups of hunters meet to plan, determine hunting times and areas, as well as safety measures using flashlights and thermal locators. Wild boars in the hunting area. Hunters will use high-quality hunting tools to ensure effectiveness. When all wild boars have been destroyed, large carcasses are collected and brought back. However, wild boar hunting also carries risks, such as the risk of traffic accidents due to wild boars moving near the road at night. They can also attack people if they feel threatened, and hunting gear can affect other animals, such as coyotes and rodents. In addition to hunting, farmers and hunters also use traps to catch wild boars. Trapping usually takes place during the day when they are less active. When captured wild boars are detected, they will be harvested and eliminated. This process extends from rural areas to urban areas, helping to protect farmers' vegetation and property from destruction by wild boars. While trapping is an effective way to control wild boar populations, it also faces challenges. Wild boar are able to avoid traps. Sometimes they can catch other animals, such as wolves and rodents. To optimize results, technical collaboration and coaching are key. At the same time, compliance with safety regulations and countermeasures will help ensure that night hunting in Italy is effective and safe. Farmers are still researching other measures to reduce the number of wild boars and protect communities. Some solutions include reducing food sources for wild boars by planting unattractive plants. Unattractive planting can significantly reduce wild boar interest in areas. These measures not only help protect agriculture, but also minimize damage to urban and rural communities. Additionally, regular trash collection, especially in rural and suburban areas, is also an effective way to reduce food intake for these animals. Litter is often an easily accessible food source, and removing it helps reduce pressure from wildlife, reducing the pressure being placed on new research and measures being developed. To continuously improve the management and control of wild boars, American farmers have implemented a number of precision measures. They have held feral hog hunting competitions in various areas across the country, such as Texas, Oklahoma, Missouri, and Iowa. Such hunting events not only help control wild boar populations, but also serve as a recreational activity for local communities. Did People Kill Them All 2023 contest in Texas is an interesting example of a wild boar hunting contest. Organized by a reputable company. This competition attracts the interest and participation of many hunting teams across the United States. The competition requires teams to hunt wild boar and is divided into three important parts with three categories. The individual category emphasizes the individual. The hunter who hunts the most wild boars wins the team category, and there is a challenge for participating teams in which the team that hunts the most wild boars wins. Finally, the biggest wild BS category is about which hunter caught the heaviest wild boar. The prizes for these categories are quite attractive, with the individual category reaching $110,000, the team category $20,000, and the biggest wild BS category reaching $50,000. The Kill Them All 2023 competition attracted the participation of more than 100 wild boar hunting teams from across the United States and was considered a great success with a total of more than 800 wild boar hunted. Although the contest attracted large participation and was considered a success, it also caused controversy. Some people argue that the competition is cruel and unnecessary, since animals have to deal with their environment. However, supporters of the competition say this is an effective way to control the wild boar population, while also providing entertainment for the hunting and fishing community. Specific rules for wild boar hunting competitions are essential to ensure safety and proper management. For the Texas example, each participating team must have at least 2 members, and they must possess a valid hunting license and comply with Texas hunting regulations. This helps ensure that the competition takes place safely and legally. In Oklahoma, the Godzilla Jungle Monkey Hunting Contest applies similar rules. Participating teams must have at least 2 members, ensure they have a valid hunting license, and comply with state hunting regulations. This not only helps ensure safety during the competition, but also plays an important role in controlling the wild boar population. While the competition brings entertainment to the community, it also contributes to wildlife control efforts, especially when wild boar numbers increase and cause damage to agriculture. The competition is not only an entertainment event, but also an effective measure to protect the environment and ensure sustainability for the state's future. In addition to the competition, farmers have also applied various measures, such as building fences around farms and residential areas to prevent the intrusion of wild boars. However, this requires not only financial resources, but also high technical knowledge to build a strong fence that can withstand strong attacks from wild animals. The diversity in the application of countermeasures has demonstrated the creativity of farmers in facing the challenge of wild boars. Solidarity and dedication from all sides of the community are key to protecting agriculture, the environment, and ensuring the safety and sustainability of surrounding communities. But also champions of the environment and sustainability of the entire state of Texas. Perhaps we can learn from them about their spirit of determination and ability to find solutions in difficult contexts. Are there any other measures to deal with wild boars that you know of? Share your thoughts below in the comments section if you know of any method that we haven't mentioned or any new method. Now, before we continue this video, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel to stay tuned for any of our upcoming videos. Now, keep watching. Texas farmers have implemented a key strategy to combat the relentless cruelty of feral hogs by using hunting dogs to chase them away. This is a time-tested method that has been used effectively to reduce the number of these destructive organisms on farms. In particular, cooperation with large and powerful hunting dogs has brought positive results. Dog breeds have been trained to hunt wild boars. They are capable of tracking and chasing pigs effectively, creating pressure and spreading panic in the population. Even though this is a natural and traditional method, it continues to be used with remarkable results. However, the use of hunting dogs requires careful management to ensure effectiveness and safety. Ensuring that these dogs are properly trained and do not pose a threat to humans or pets poses a series of challenges related to the maintenance and management of hunting dog breeds. One thing is certain: the fight against feral swine in Texas requires creativity and diversity in applying a variety of strategies. Texas farmers have shown patience and fortitude in their efforts to address this situation and conserve and protect their Texas farms and surrounding environment. Farmers have also adopted measures to hunt wild boars, an important part of their strategy to deal with this animal. In particular, the control of wild boar populations and the development of wild boar meat markets have created opportunities for Texas farmers not only to protect their farms, but also to capitalize on income from sales. Forest pork, technical management, and ensuring that feral hog numbers do not exceed necessary levels is also an important part of maintaining the species as it exists in Texas. So, with these solutions already working to prevent the growth of populations of some invasive species, do you believe there is a better solution? If so, please share your comments and opinions below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to support our channel and follow upcoming videos. Finally, share this video with all your friends so they can watch and enjoy it too. Canada is known as one of the countries famous for night hunting of wild animals, especially species that often attack livestock such as cows and sheep. Farms often suffer heavy losses when hundreds of millions of animals are attacked and slaughtered. So how can farmers effectively deal with and control these wild species? Leave number 1 in the comments and get started with me now. In fact, coyote attacks often take place at night, when livestock are resting and cannot defend themselves. This makes controlling them more difficult. The Canadian government has implemented hunting measures to deal with this problem. One of the simplest yet most effective measures is the use of diffuse lighting to track coyotes during night hunting. hunters and farmers have been supported by the government in the deployment and use of this lighting technology. This increases the ability to observe and monitor coyotes, thereby reducing risks to farms and livestock. Applying this measure not only helps protect farms and livestock from coyote attacks, but is also an effective solution to maintain ecological balance and protect animals native. To limit noise when traveling, hunters often use remote hunting tools. The process of harvesting coyotes at night requires them to choose a convenient location to have an overall view of the free range of the farm. When they appear, speed and accuracy in shooting are very important. A small mistake can be dangerous for farm animals. In addition, hunting license skills are also important, as each wolf must be brought down effectively. During each hunting night, each person can hunt from 2 to 10 coyotes. The wolf population in Canada is growing and is concentrated mainly in both urban and rural areas. What do you think about hunting wolves in the cold snow? Snowmobiling to hunt coyotes is an exciting activity. Fresh winter air fills your lungs as you slide across the pure snow, scanning the sky for some trace of movement. Every twist and turn builds suspense, knowing that at any moment you could encounter a rare predator. The excitement of the hunt, combined with the breathtaking beauty of the snow-capped landscape, creates an unforgettable experience that will leave you craving more exciting adventures in the wild. Next, we come to other animals called invasive foxes. They often attack small livestock, such as chickens and sheep at night, causing significant damage to farms. Therefore, hunting foxes at night is the most effective way to control this population. Areas near farms often attract many foxes because they smell similar to livestock. This facilitates hunting and helps reduce fox intrusion on farms. Hunters in Canada often use radiator lights to observe and search for them, because foxes have small bodies and they often attack from behind. This helps ensure hunter safety and increases the predictability of fox attacks. To observe effectively, remaining silent is very important. The hunter can shoot down one fox at a time, but this requires agility and skill. Hunters need to practice a lot and use the right hunting tools to achieve accurate results. The speed of each hunt also depends on the type of tool and the skill of the hunter. Each hunter can harvest from 5 to 20 foxes in one night, depending on their experience and equipment. In fact, the performance of fox hunting fluctuates depending on many factors, such as weather conditions, terrain, and the presence of foxes in the hunting area. Fox hunting area is estimated to only account for about 2 to 3% of the total fox population and tends to decrease somewhat throughout the year due to hunting activities. This raises questions about the sustainability of this activity, requiring strict management to ensure a balance between hunting and wildlife conservation. In addition, many other wild species are also widely distributed in Canada and are also hunted. However, this needs to be carefully managed to avoid negative impacts on the environment and biodiversity. Biodiversity management also requires compliance with regulations and laws on environmental and wildlife conservation. Do you know which wild animals often attack cattle farms at night? And how do you handle them? Other than coyotes and foxes. So another type of animal causes a lot of trouble, especially for chicken farms at night, particularly in areas near forests, where their frequent presence has raised many concerns within the community. Canada's black bear population currently numbers about 250,000 animals. with an uneven distribution concentrated in heavily forested areas in the east and west of the country. Black bear hunting is a popular activity in Canada to control this population. And this becomes more interesting when done at night. When darkness covers the forest, some bears will go looking for food, and at this time, they can be easily detected. However, bear hunting is a risky activity, and having teammates with you and using hunting tools, such as bows and arrows, are necessary. When spotting a target, it is important to stay calm and avoid making noise, as bears are very sensitive and may attack if they sense any level of danger. At the same time, targeting the stun points on the bear's body is the optimal way to paralyze them. Using bows and arrows to shoot bears is the most common method, because after being pierced by an arrow, the bear will gradually lose the ability to move. However, bears are still a powerful animal, and care is always necessary when approaching and handling them. Do you agree with this method? If yes, leave number 1. Otherwise, leave number 0 and share your opinion in the comments section below. During the last 10,000 years, as the last glaciers melted, moose began appearing in the United States, initially in the forests and inhabited grasslands of Alaska and Canada. Recently, however, elk numbers have increased dramatically, and they have migrated to other southern regions of the United States, following fish and wildlife. The moose population in the United States has doubled over the past 50 years, from about 500,000 in 1970 to more than 1 million in 2020. This increase is largely due to improvements in their habitat, including the expansion of forests and grasslands. This is a testament to the vitality and excellent adaptation of this animal in today's natural environment. According to information from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, each year there are about 1,500 traffic accidents caused by moose in the United States. This is a notable problem, especially in rural and suburban areas where elk are often present. Statistics show that economic losses from these accidents amount to an estimated $1.3 billion USD per year. Of this, repair costs account for about $1 billion USD, and medical costs for the injured are $300 million USD. The most serious accident was recorded on December 23, 2017 in the state of Oregon. In this accident, a truck collided with a moose, causing the truck to flip over and catch fire. This accident left 4 people dead and 2 seriously injured, in addition to loss of life and property. Statistics from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service show losses to the agricultural industry are estimated at $500 million per year. Not only do they threaten traffic safety and the economy, elk also pose risks to tourist and forested areas. Every year, about 200 moose attack forest tourists in the U.S., especially in areas such as Alaska, Washington, Oregon, and Montana. To ensure safety when encountering elk when driving in deer-rich areas, slow down and stay aware of your surroundings. If you encounter a moose, stay calm and try to avoid contact. If they become aggressive, stand still and slowly leave the forest. Complying with these safety measures in the area can reduce the risk of accidents and attacks from elk, protecting both drivers, people living in rural areas, and forest visitors. Elk hunting is a popular population management method widely used in many countries around the world, including the United States, Canada, and Europe. This not only helps control the elk population, but also ensures balance and ecology in each country. State elk hunting licensing processes vary, but the most important thing is that the minimum age is usually 18 years or older. Players must also complete hunting safety training, including how to safely use guns, handle animals after hunting, and how to protect the environment. The permitting process also involves paying a fee ranging from several dozen to several $100s. However, these costs are often considered to conflict with the benefits of controlling elk populations. When starting a hunting activity, it is important that participants pay attention to a few important things to ensure safety. Choosing a safe hunting location is important, as is using hunting equipment properly. Hunting time is also important because elk are often active in the early morning and late afternoon. According to the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, approximately 200,000 elk are hunted in the United States each year. This has contributed significantly to the control and reduction of elk populations in the country. To date, most U.S. populations have declined about 20% in the past 50 years, according to information from the Fish and Wildlife Service. However, to achieve the best results, participants need to pay attention to conducting hunting activities responsibly and safely. In addition to wearing appropriate clothing and bringing necessary equipment, communicating your hunting plan is also an important factor in protecting both yourself and your surroundings. Wild boar. Do you know about this invasive species? If so, please leave number 1 and join me to find out now. Although trapping and hunting can reduce wild boar numbers, they cannot be eliminated completely. Building fences cannot completely prevent their intrusion into agricultural areas. Wild boars often move in herds, which gives them the opportunity to escape and hide in the forest. However, in 2022, a hunter in Brazil County, Texas captured 10 feral hogs. Later, 2 more wild pigs were discovered to have escaped and hidden in the forest. They have the ability to destroy fences to penetrate agricultural areas. Fences are sometimes ineffective, especially when faced with the intelligence and destructive capabilities of wild boars. In 2022, a farmer in Texas built a 6.56-foot fence to prevent feral hogs from entering his farm. However, the fence was not perfect, and the pigs still entered the farm and caused damage to crops in some other areas. According to a study by Texas A&M University, each wild boar can cause up to $2,000 in damage per year. Wild stem boars can cause a lot of damage to agriculture, including destroying crops, stealing food, and spreading diseases. Each litter can give birth to from 5 to 12 cubs, with a reproductive period of about 114 days. Not only that, wild boars are also capable of giving birth to 2 to 3 litters per year, creating conditions for rapid population growth. With such high fertility, just one female wild boar can give birth to more than 100 piglets within 2 years. This explains why the number of feral hogs in Texas has increased significantly according to statistics from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. Wild boars are not limited to a specific type of terrain, but can exist in a variety of environments from deep forests to vast grasslands, from mountainous plateaus to plains. Day and night, they can travel long distances to find food. Wild boars are truly versatile creatures, capable of enduring all types of weather from cold days to hot days. In addition to their ability to eat a variety of foods, their diet is also very diverse, including vegetables, fruits, grains, and even animal carcasses. This flexibility allows wild boars to find food effectively in any land they choose to live. Weighing up to 750 pounds, wild boars have fearsome defense weapons, including sharp teeth and sharp claws. They do not face any natural enemies except humans. Large carnivores, such as tigers, lions, and panthers, disappeared in Texas long ago, leaving feral pigs with no natural predators to fear. In the past, coyotes and wolves were natural enemies of wild boars, but they were hunted to near extinction. The lack of natural enemies has allowed wild boar numbers to increase significantly. They can reproduce and grow without having to face natural competition. The threat of population growth is placing great pressure on the environment and wild boar species. Increased demand for land and food has caused wild boars to invade cropland areas and face fierce competition with humans. The need for food for wild boars is increasing, forcing them to search for food in new areas, sometimes entering areas used for other purposes. Infrastructure development, such as roads and railways, has created new migration routes for wild pigs, expanding habitat and food sources, changing the economic structure. This poses major challenges in wild boar conservation and management, requiring a balance between human development needs and environmental protection. Let's continue to watch the rest of the video to know exactly. First of all, vertigo is a pheasant. They eat many different types of plants. They are one of the invasive species that cause significant consequences for the environment. At the time of research in England, it was discovered that they could consume significant amounts of food, up to 5511 pounds per day, equivalent to about 15% of the wheat yield of an acre of land. Their increased appetite can cause great damage to crops, especially in dry conditions, when fields are under the influence of harsh weather. They not only eat grass but also dig the ground in search of insects, negatively affecting many types of plants and degrading the soil. Not only that, pheasant populations also increased rapidly during their breeding cycle. They reproduce at an astonishing rate and quantity, with each mother pheasant being able to lay 10 to 15 eggs at a time. They then incubate the eggs for about 21 days before the young hatch. An increase in pheasant populations can cause serious problems, so population control is extremely important. In Europe, the main method of controlling pheasant populations is through hunting, with the aid of hunting dogs. Farmers have adopted effective measures to control pheasant populations, but have also capitalized on the business of pheasant farming and agricultural product production. On farms in these areas, farmers combine growing agricultural products and raising pheasants to provide food at the same time. These measures not only help maintain ecological balance, but also create a sustainable source of income for farmers. Pheasant hunting usually begins in August and lasts until December, when millions of sparrows are targeted by hunters every year. European farmers earn about 500 million USD from raising and supplying pheasants, making a major contribution to the region's economy. When it comes time to harvest, millions of pheasants are released into hunting areas, where hunters must pay a fee to participate. Strict regulations are in place, ensuring that pheasant hunting is more tightly controlled. Pheasant meat is a popular dish, despite its small body. Adult males can weigh up to 2.5 pounds, while females are smaller. Therefore, to have enough food for a family, you need at least one large enough pheasant, with the meat price being quite high compared to regular chicken. Pheasant meat has exceptional flavor and quality, with low fat content and high protein content. In addition to being eaten, their feathers are also used to make hats and jewelry, with expensive items made from long-tailed pheasant feathers, bringing high income to European farmers.
Have you ever wondered why the name baboon? The name baboon or racist monkey carries with it uniqueness and strangeness. These are magical creatures from Asia and are currently entering the US, especially in the state of Florida, where they disappeared from research facilities and began building a large community. If you are excited about this content, please leave number 1 in the comments. Initially, only a few dozen were estimated, but their rapid increase has made them popular and powerful. Baboons, with their thick gray or brown fur, along with a prominent red mark on their underbelly, create a particularly attractive and powerful image. With an average weight of up to 17-25 lb, they are fearsome and dangerous creatures, especially when they feel threatened or when they are searching for food. In urban environments, their ability to attack becomes more apparent than ever, especially when they steal food. Their sharp fangs, about an inch long, are natural weapons of fear. Baboons typically breed in spring and summer, taking advantage of warm weather to create a new generation. Each time they breed, they usually bring in 1 to 3 offspring, keeping their community growing. At the same time, they are omnivores. Their food includes fruits and small animals, helping them survive and thrive in all environments. They live in large groups, have a clear social organization, and follow the leadership of male baboons, individuals who are highly adaptable to diverse habitats, from forests to grasslands and even urban areas. They do not hesitate to invade Florida City, wandering on main roads, causing significant traffic congestion. This congestion not only affects the daily movement of residents, but also delays ongoing public and business projects. In particular, there is a risk of causing serious injury to traffic participants, especially car drivers, when they attack vehicles on the road, possibly for the purpose of finding food